I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately, to front only the essential facts of life, and not, when I came to die, discover that I had not lived. I wanted to live deep and suck out all the marrow of life, to live so sturdily and Spartan-like as to reduce it to its lowest terms, and, if it proved to be mean, to get the whole and genuine meanness of it, or if it were sublime, to know it by experience, and to give a true account of it. When I wrote the following pages, or rather the bulk of them, I lived alone in the woods, a mile from any neighbor, in a house which I had built myself, on the shore of Walden Pond, in Concord, Massachusetts, and earned my living by the labor of my hands only. When I first took up my abode in the woods, my house was not finished. It was a pleasant hillside where I worked, covered with pine woods, through which I looked out on the pond, and a small open field in the woods where pines and hickories were springing up.
July 4th, 1845. Dearest Henry, congratulations on the start of your experiment. I hope that the work goes well and the ideas are fruitful. Mr. Emerson says you are intent to devour yourself in our woods, but I hope that you will remember to take good care and keep yourself well. Mother worries, as do I. Your loving sister, Sophia.
There is some of the same fitness in a man's building his own house that there is in a bird's building its own nest. Who knows but if men constructed their dwellings with their own hands and provided food for themselves and families simply and honestly enough, the poetic faculty would be universally developed, as birds universally sing when they are so engaged. My house was on the side of a hill, immediately on the edge of the larger wood, in the midst of a young forest of pitch pines and hickories, and 6 rods from the pond, to which a narrow footpath led down the hill. In my front yard grew the strawberry, blackberry, and life everlasting, John's wort and goldenrod, shrub oaks and sand cherry, blueberry and groundnut. I am no more lonely than the loon in the pond that laughs so loud, or than Walden Pond itself. I am no more lonely than a single mullein or dandelion in a pasture, or a bean leaf, or sorrel, or a horsefly, or a bumblebee. I am no more lonely than the millbrook, or a weathercock, or the North Star, or the south wind, or an April shower, or a January thaw, or the first spider in a new house. Most men, even in this comparatively free country, through mere ignorance and mistake, are so occupied with the factitious cares and superfluously coarse labors of life that its finer fruits cannot be plucked by them. My residence was more favorable not only to thought, but to serious reading than a university. And though I was beyond the range of the ordinary circulating library, I had more than ever come within the influence of those books which circulate round the world. Interesting. I kept Homer's Iliad on my table through the summer, though I looked at his page only now and then. The necessaries of life for man in this climate may, accurately enough, be distributed under the several heads of food, shelter, clothing, and fuel. For not till we have secured these are we prepared to entertain the true problems of life with freedom and a prospect of success. Huh. What are you doing now? Emerson asked. Do you keep a journal? So I make my first entry today.
July 1845. My dear Henry, Mr. Emerson has assisted my family in acquiring a house near Concord. And there we are now, writing and living like philosophers, which is to say, with little but happily. I will visit you soon and bring Mr. Garrison of the Liberator. We have all been so inspired by his earnest and unequivocal writings regarding the moral stain of slavery on our nation. Perhaps he will speak at our Lyceum on the topic. Yours truly, A. Bronson Alcott.
July 1845. Dear Henry, you've told me yourself that it is difficult to begin anything without borrowing, and I know that you can use an axe, so I've left one for you in my front yard by the chopping stump. Do come by any time to fetch it. Perhaps we can discuss the new lecture I am working on while you are here. Your friend, Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Wishing to earn $10 or $12 by some honest and agreeable method, in order to meet my unusual expenses, I planted about 2.5 acres of light and sandy soil, chiefly with beans. All sound heard at the greatest possible distance produces one and the same effect, the vibration of the universal lyre, just as the intervening atmosphere makes a distant ridge of the earth interesting to our eyes by the azure tint it imparts to it.
It's very good to make your acquaintance, Mr. Thoreau. Your sister seems to believe our thoughts and philosophies are very much aligned. It is good to find a youth so interested in the finer fruits of thought.
Henry, there you are.
Good afternoon.
Oh, Henry, how goes your new experiment? Has genius struck yet at my woodlot?
Yes, in fact, the experiment is going quite well.
Excellent to hear. I do look forward to reading your new work. I hope you're keeping a good journal, full of your insights about life in the woods. Since you're here, I could use your assistance with some research I'm doing for a new lecture. Could you spare the time to help me?
Certainly.
Well, thank you. I know you're quite busy with your own work, but I need help finding my copy of Homer's Iliad. I saw that you were reading it down by a new cabin. Do you still have it there?
I haven't seen it, but I can look for it.
Wonderful. Let me mark the very spot I think I left it on your map so that you can find it. In the meanwhile, I found some books on bean planting and local wildlife you might find useful. I put them on the table in my library for you.
That shouldn't be difficult to find. I'll see you again soon. Interesting. Interesting. East of my bean field had once lived Cato Ingraham, slave of Duncan Ingraham. Cato's half-obliterated cellar hole still remains, though known to few, being concealed from the traveler by a fringe of pines. In the long run, men hit only what they aim at. Therefore, though they should fail immediately, they had better aim at something high. Interesting. What shall I learn of beans or beans of me? I cherish them, I hoe them, early and late I have an eye to them, and this is my day's work. In the course of the summer, it appeared by the arrowheads which I turned up in hoeing, that an extinct nation had anciently dwelt here. Interesting. Ugh.
Henry, there you are.
Good afternoon. Every day or two I stroll to the village to hear some of the gossip which is incessantly going on there, circulating either from mouth to mouth or from newspaper to newspaper, and which, taken in homeopathic doses, was really as refreshing in its way as the rustle of leaves and the peeping of frogs.
Here come John and Henry, Mother, back from their adventures. How was it? Did the boat sail well? Did you see beyond the horizon? Oh, you both look full of good sun and stories. I can't wait to hear them all. Tell what new flowers you found blooming first.
July 1838. Dear Messieurs Thoreau, my sister, whom you know, has sent me a copy of the Yeoman's Gazette with your advertisement for a new Concord Academy, and suggested I contact you regarding the education of my son, Edmund Sewell. Edmund is a bright pupil, and is in need of instruction preparatory to a collegiate course, with the usual English branches of study. I will send him, with my daughter Ellen as chaperone, to meet you at your earliest convenience. Sincerely, Reverend Edmund Quincy Sewell.
I bought the shanty of James Collins, an Irishman who worked on the Fitchburg Railroad, for boards to use in my house. The grand necessity, then, for our bodies is to keep warm, to keep the vital heat in us.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
There you are, Henry. Haven't you found my Homer yet? Perhaps you don't have time, or are you spending all your hours working?
I haven't found it yet, but I'll keep looking. Interesting. I never found the companion that was so companionable as solitude. A man thinking or working is always alone. Let him be where he will. Solitude is not measured by the miles of space that intervene between a man and his fellows. Huh.
Play as Henry David Thoreau in Walden, a game.